Hello, welcome to the first installment of Baddietine's week. We're gonna do a look every day and they're gonna be a little bit edgier than your traditional Valentine's Day looks, but I mean, it really wouldn't be me if I just did like traditional looks. So start off by priming our eyes. If you have issues with eyeshadow pigmentation, it lasting all day or creasing, definitely consider adding an eyeshadow primer into your routine because it will change the game for you. I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the color Painterly. I've done it over my entire lid all the way up to my eyebrow line here to just lay like a good clean base for my eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and my waterproof setting powder, and I'm just going to lay a light layer of powder over that primer. So next I've gone in with my Morphe 35S palette. I love this palette. Went in with this color Sandbar right here, and I kind of just packed it in my creases. You can see here, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I start where I want the most pigmentation, is right in the center of it. So I start here, and then I start buffing and feathering it out. The eye that we're going for is definitely very wingy, so I want to bring my shadow in kind of that shape as I'm doing it, so I'll start to buff it out and kind of lift a little here. While you're doing your shadow, keep in mind the end shape you want to achieve, so that way you're kind of already starting to create it with your shadows. Next, I've gone in with this tone Shady Spot, and we're just adding like some more depth and dimension into the lid. Way to really avoid heavy fallout but be able to really get a good pack of pigmentation is to do it in stages. So go on, really pack that pigment in, picking up just a little bit on your brush, don't overload it, tapping off the excess, and then just working that pigmentation payout up more and more with each layer. That's going to reduce the risk of fallout and also allow the shadows to be easier to blend out. If you're putting too much on in one clump, it's going to be very hard to diffuse it out. Ooh. Now that I've recovered from completely obliterating my elbow. Some depth into the lash line. I am going to be using liners later, but I like to go ahead and build some of that dark, deep black color in with shadow. I'm using my Morphe Jeffree Star palette with now a more dense brush to pack more pigment in. And I'm just going to get that loaded up, tap off the excess, and just start coming in along the lash line and building in some really dark depth. Go in with a wipe, clean my under eye area, and then just crisp up that line. Makes it so easy. And because we've already started to establish that line, when I go in with my liner, it gives me such a good basis to follow and takes some of the guesswork out of trying to give yourself a winged liner. Okay, next to create this pretty pink line below on the lower lash line, I'm going to take a white pencil. This is just going to help the pigment be more vivid. I'm just going to line right along here. It's okay if it's a little bit messy. You can clean it up again with a trusty makeup wipe. Next, I'm going to take this small brush and go back into my 35S palette, and I'm going to get this color right here, which is Private Villa. Get some on a very tiny brush and just pack it along that line. So I went ahead and finished this eye so you could see kind of the end result that we're going for, but I will do a step-by-step over here. Okay, so I'm using my indelible eyeliner from Transcend, and I'm going to gently just press my finger here and tug up a little, and I'm going to line this upper waterline here. Now to create this point that you see here, I'm going to start with this liner and a liner brush. And I'm going to use this to start because I feel like there's a little more room for error than using a liquid liner. So I've gone through with the liquid liner and crisped up that edge. That's the other good thing about not having any foundation on, is if you mess up these corners, it's very easy to just take your makeup wipe fingernail and edge it out. It comes in handy because the hardest part of this is definitely getting them symmetrical, and boy, that was a struggle. Next, I'm going to go back in with this eyeliner, and I'm going to do my lower waterline and connect it all the way in to where we did the pointed tip on the inner corner. Next is lashes. A little tip for your lashes: always do the glue and let it sit for at least a minute, because the tackier that glue is, the easier it's going to be for you just to like pop it and leave it. If you do the glue and then try to stick it right to your eye, it's just gonna flop around because the glue isn't set enough to actually be tacky. So it's literally just like liquid, and it's just gonna ooze right off your eye. So I always do the glue, fan it a little bit, set it down. I will do mascara. You always want to mascara your natural lashes before putting on lashes, because if your natural lashes are light or have shadow on them, eyeshadow, if they're a different color, it's going to be very clear where your natural lashes are and where the artificial lashes are. Now that the glue has set for about a minute, you're gonna see how easy they are to pop on. I just grab a little pair of tweezers. Grab my tweezers here and just place them. You can get a little mirror and kind of get close up with them. Make sure that you're getting it as close to your natural lash line as possible, so that way there's no gap. And just keep pressing it. Easy peasy. Now that the eyes are done, I'm gonna go ahead and finish my face makeup, and then I'll be back to show you the final look. Just like that, our first Baddietine look done in the books. What do we think? I used a little bit of this lip gloss from Transcended. It's called Baby Doll. Loving this pink, living for this pink. It's a perfect match to pick up the accent color under my eye. I also used this same eyeshadow color, this pink color on my cheeks for blush to kind of like tie the whole pink theme in. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed.